Welcome to Bingeworthy. Today we are talking about Last Man on Earth.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. I'm Rob Southgate, with me.
Martha Southgate.
And
did you lose a word there? With
what do
me
you mean?
Is
with
me.
Yeah. You know what? It's been a long day already.
Well, you need to conserve because we have to talk.
Because we got to talk about Last Man on Earth. Okay, so up top, real fast. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we are at SMG Binges. Get in conversation with us there. Also find us on Facebook. And if you want to send us email, which we've been getting, send us an email to southgatemediagroup@gmail.com.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
All the business is out of the way. Martha,
let's
hear it.
Start out here. Yeah. Okay, so Last Man on Earth is a Fox show.
Yes.
And it originally aired March 1st of 2015. And they just finished their third season. We have watched all three.
Oh, yeah.
So when we're doing this, we're doing it from... Sometimes we just do the first season.
Yeah, sometimes we just do one season at a time.
All three. So
yes.
It was originally created by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. It was their original idea.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought they were producers on it, but it was
created
by them.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So what happened was they came up with the idea thinking it would be a movie. And they talked to Will Forte, and he said, oh, no. And he went off with this idea and had a whole thing. And they said, take it and run. So he, in one weekend, wrote an entire treatment.
Did he?
And then they took it around Hollywood, and Fox ended up picking it up. And he was the showrunner for the first season. And then Dan Sterling took over.
Wait, Will Forte was the showrunner. So he's still the lead.
So he started in it, and he was,
but...
and he was also the showrunner. That's a big...
Interesting.
That's a lot of work.
You bet it is.
And when you're that annoying, that's even more work.
You find him annoying?
Oh my gosh, I love him so much, but he drives me crazy. He's supposed to drive me crazy.
Yeah, he's supposed to drive you crazy.
So, very interesting for me to read about how they film. Okay, so they do single camera.
Right.
Okay. No one is supposed to be on Earth.
Right.
Except these handful of people. It should be stone silent. There aren't very many animals. There aren't any
They've got audio issues.
They're trying to record, and you hear cars in the background.
It's like us.
Yes. We usually have a leaf blower.
Yeah, our neighbor with his leaf blower.
He loves that dang leaf blower.
He does.
Okay, but he's not home yet, so he's not using it
Quick,
today.
talk fast.
But anyway, so...
I didn't think about that, but that would
I thought that was fascinating to read about. So they said that's their greatest struggle, is trying to have silence and not have cars in the distance or any other noise.
Yeah,
I mean,
think about it. When you walk outside, you hear all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
Now, I know that they go back and they clean a lot of that out, but stuff happens during dialogue. Stuff happens.
It happens.
So before we get too far into it.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, we haven't talked about the premise of the show at all.
No.
We need to.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the premise
well,
first?
I'm all done.
Oh, that was
stuff.
it?
Yeah.
You wanted to get that out first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
So the premise of the show, when you hear the name Last Man on Earth, when we heard
Wait a second. We didn't talk about the characters.
Well, don't you want to talk about what the premise is, or do we do the characters?
How could you talk about the premise if you don't know who the characters are? We have a conflicting style here.
Yes. Go ahead. Let's do the characters.
Okay.
It'll
make me feel better.
I concede.
Okay. So Will Forte, he's from Saturday Night Live, right?
Yes.
So he plays Phil Miller, also known
MacGruber.
He is Phil Miller, also known as Tandy.
Yes.
And he is the most annoying person on Earth.
It should be the last
most annoying
person on Earth. Yes.
And he's co-starring with Kristen Schaal.
So
that's saying a lot.
Female version.
I got
of the most annoying.
I love her so much on this show. She's out of her. And where does she get the clothes?
The clothes are unbelievable.
Oh my gosh. But Will Forte wrote the pilot.
Okay.
So anyway, just wanted to throw that in there. So Kristen Schaal plays Carol.
Yes.
And we're not going to spoil anything with any of this information. But she's from Such Fine Things as Bob's Burgers. She does a ton of voiceover.
She does
movies
a ton of voiceover stuff. You hear her voice in everything.
Yes. Then we have January Jones, who's from Mad Men.
Yes.
And she plays Melissa.
Yes.
And Mel Rodriguez.
Really different on this.
I hated her on Mad Men.
Yeah, not
and
her
I
as
like
an
her
actress.
on this.
It's the character. We just, oh my gosh, it was like, get it off of this show.
Yeah.
And then here, she's great. And I love the evolution with her character.
Yes, I agree. So then there's Mel Rodriguez.
Yes.
And he's from Better Call Saul, which we love. Did we do that one yet?
I think we did.
If we didn't, we need to. Well, although we could do a new season.
We could do a new season, yes.
Okay. So Better Call Saul, and he plays Todd on here. Cleopatra Coleman, she's an Australian actress.
Wait, I'd like to rephrase it. He plays frickin' Todd on here.
He plays frickin' Todd. Yeah.
Frickin' Todd.
And so Cleopatra Coleman, she's an Australian actress. We don't know what she's done because it's all Australian.
Yeah, the show's listed, the TV work she's done. There may have been something recognizable, but most of it was Australian TV.
She plays Erica, and then there's Gail, Mary Steenburgen.
Oh my gosh!
Now she happens to be married to one of my most favorite people on earth, Ted Danson.
Yes.
So.
And I love her. She was great she was in like Back to the Future 3.
Hello.
Yeah.
Step Brothers.
She's amazing in Step Brothers.
I love Step Brothers.
And on this.
And Orange is the New Black.
Yes. And she's Pornstash's mom.
Yes.
But she's amazing on this.
So that's your main cast.
Right.
And then we've had some guest stars over the years.
Some have lasted not even a whole episode.
Jason Sudeikis, I don't know how to say his name. Kristen Wiig, Kenneth Choi, Will Ferrell, John Hamm. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So, and Laura Dern.
Yeah.
To name some. So anyway, yeah. So we just wanted to touch on that. So now we know the cast of characters, and Mark Mothersbaugh does the music.
Yes.
Okay. Love him.
Love him from Devo. Yes. Devo and Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yes.
So you know.
Mostly Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yes.
All right. So anyway,
Martha,
now.
I'd like to quote Yo Gabba Gabba now. One of my favorite songs from there. I'm going to sing it to you. Don't bite your friends.
Yes.
Don't
I need that reminder
bite
daily.
Your friends. That's a Yo Gabba Gabba
So
song.
what do you want to talk about? Now it's all you.
It's all me.
Until I say
okay, premise of the show. When you first hear the title, Last Man on Earth.
Kind of self-explanatory.
Kind of is. Then how do we have all these other characters? And that was what...
Because he thinks he's the last man on Earth. It took him a really long time to find somebody else.
And it did on the show. It wasn't in the first episode that we saw there were more people. It took a couple episodes.
And he went around, traveled all over the country, and put up signs saying Alive in Tucson.
Yes. Now, this is one of my favorite things. If we go back to what happens in the first season, Phil thinks he's really alone.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. He traveled around the country, putting up, Alive in Tucson, but he was also collecting all the things he'd ever want. So you see him in the beginning, like he has, of course he moves into a mansion and he's completely crapping it out. And you find out that he's gone from mansion to mansion. He's like, once the pool fills, because there's no running water, once he fills a pool, he moves to the next one, like in another subdivision. But like he's got a T-Rex head sitting on the dining room table. He's got Michael Jordan's jersey that he wears when he like plays basketball in his living room.
He's got famous works of art. He just goes from place to place collecting all of the best things.
Yes.
And then he trashes them because he's a horrible person. And
the other thing he does is to keep himself occupied, he keeps making up these things that are like blowtorching, like a pool full of basketballs to see what it'll look like.
Yes.
He does all these.
He drives a tank down the street. Like think about what you would do if you were alone.
He thinks he's alone. He's just like,
and it's like there's no rules.
Yes.
No one's going to get mad at me.
Yes.
So I'm going to just do stuff and see what happens.
Yes.
And he is a child. So he does really crazy. He's a boy child too, which is harder.
And to pass the time, he also, this is something else that kills me on the show. He lays in a pool where
with his margarita.
He mixes margarita in a little kiddie pool and he just lays in it and drinks from the pool.
And he's filthy.
Oh,
he's just nasty.
It's awful. And that's really the
setup
of the show.
And then we won't go into how they all meet, but
he starts
there are other people
running into people that see his sign and they appear one after the other, but it's really only a few people.
Mm-hmm.
And they also, I'm going to say this about the show, they're pretty cutthroat. What I mean by that is you think this person comes in and they're going to be permanently on. They move them right along in some cases, and surprisingly fast, or sometimes in surprising moments where you're like, oh, I thought this was a main character.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Phil and Carol, if you want to go by who's safe, like on Walking Dead, we always talk about who's safe.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably the safest. They're probably
I would
safest.
say they're the only two. Yeah, they're the
safe.
two leads.
In fact, in one of these seasons, they did a thing where the two of them went off. I really thought we're going to have like a half season or a season of just the two of them.
Yeah.
Even though you think, oh, that'd be terrible.
No.
It wasn't terrible when it was just
they're
him.
entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
It's really interesting how they do it.
Yeah.
And how they introduce new things.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. There is an element that there's a lot of this world that I would love, because I would love to live alone on Earth.
No,
that would be okay with me.
No, you wouldn't.
I really think I could.
You say you would.
Yeah.
But you talk a lot.
I know, but he talks to balls and things.
You would not make it talking to balls. You would need to talk to other things.
I use walkie-talkie and talk to myself. Yeah.
You would not make it that
I don't
long.
know.
Plus, who would do things for you?
Oh, God, that's true.
You need an enabler.
Yeah. But, okay, so if it was just you and I, I'm so sorry for you.
And I do have to say, you do have a lot of Phil tendencies.
I am Phil.
You are
I
Phil
am as annoying
and
as
Carol.
Phil.
You are like the mix.
Except for the clothes. Where did
Her
she
clothes.
get those clothes?
It's incredible.
And then she makes them better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she loves her bedazzler.
Yeah.
And she loves to go to the craft stores and work on that. You're not that one.
No.
If she sat around in pajama pants, that would be.
I could do that.
Yeah. So
we can't give
don't
anything
want to spoil.
away.
Truthfully, this show has a lot you could spoil.
Oh, yes.
You really do want to watch it from the beginning.
Yes.
And stay with it, even when you feel
even if it's so annoying that you think you're going to kill Tandy.
Happen.
Which is going to happen a lot. But please don't quit.
Yeah.
Don't quit.
Well, and the other thing that gets me with this show is, unexpectedly, they do an incredible job with the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It gets to the end of season 1, and we thought that was going to be it. It wasn't renewed right away. And there's a cliffhanger, and you're like, why I need to know what's going to happen? Season 2. Actually,
season 3 was the worst. I'm dying. Yeah.
Season 3 had an incredible cliffhanger. But even mid-season, because the first season, it was just the 12 episodes. Second season's a full season. Third season's a full season. But they do a mid-season cliffhanger. Okay? Maybe it's not a full season. I don't remember if they're 23 episodes or if they're just like 16. But they do these cliffhangers.
See, I come with facts.
You do. That are really, really exceptional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
And Will Forte kills me.
Oh my God, he's so annoying.
He was never on my radar. We don't watch Saturday Night Live. We'd seen him here and there.
Yeah.
He always seemed funny, but a lot of those guys seem funny.
Yeah.
This guy is unbelievable. And it's become part of our family vernacular.
Yes. We say things all the time. Sad boom.
Yeah.
It's, you got, okay, so let's do it. Let's rate
it. Okay. So our rating system, we should always give our rating system is binge it out.
Binge the heck out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Binge the heck is the first one. Space it out. Worth the watch.
Yeah.
So it might not be something.
Or not worth or skip it.
Skip it. Yeah.
Okay.
There's our official rating.
So for this one.
Where's it fall for you?
I can't. For me, I can say binge the heck out of it, but there are times where it becomes too much because he's so obnoxious and I don't want to lose people because they're trying to watch him too much of him. So I would say space it out and just
But you just said binge the heck.
I would. You're
like me where you're on that fence.
No, I binge the heck out of it. I'm not telling other people to binge the heck out of it. Watch a couple episodes. Get a feel for him. Watch a couple more in a little while, and then watch a couple more. You can certainly do a few at a time, but if you're going to sit down and watch 10 episodes, you may want to kill him or yourself.
Yes.
So, but it's really fun and it is really good. It's just you might need it in smaller doses if you get easily irritated.
Yeah, because
by people,
it is
obnoxious as heck.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go
not
clearly.
To dissuade you because it's also funny as
yeah. Oh no, it's so worth it. I'm going space it out.
Yeah.
And it's for the reasons you said. It's also for another reason. When you binge comedy sometimes, especially like this. This has some great dramatic elements to it that are interspersed, but it is comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty broad, straight in your face comedy. Sometimes if you watch and binge something like that, the whole season, it loses something. The joke starts to get old. If you space it out, do an hour, do 2 hours, and then wait a week. Watch another couple hours.
Or a couple days.
You'll have a lot more fun with it.
Yeah.
You'll be waiting for it.
Yeah.
It'll be better. It is a great show. I think it's really great. I know people that say they can't stand Kristen Schaal, or they say they can't stand Will Forte.
They grow on you.
You know what? I say get over it. It's a comedy. Yeah. They're playing characters. Enjoy the characters.
And the characters evolve.
They do.
He does not stay who he was in the first season.
Tandy especially.
He doesn't stay. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't stay who he is in the second season.
No.
The third season, you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, he's so different than he was.
Every time you think he's kind of redeemed and he's
a
good guy.
Yeah, no, he comes back.
He comes back.
And you just go, he's still there.
A warm place. And you're like, but yeah,
he means well.
It's so great.
And
the relationships, all the conflict. There's 8 people. There's 7 people.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6, and then always like
peripherals.
We'll call it a 7 people cast. It's amazing how they have conflict. They're together now. They can't stand each other, and they don't do it.
But they can't avoid each other.
They can't avoid each other, and they'll go
because they need each other to survive.
They won't go like one episode. Tandy and Carol are close, and the next one, Tandy and Carol hate each other.
No.
They'll go 3-4 episodes of Tandy and Carol not able to talk to each other because that's how life is, where you're just like, I have had enough.
Yep.
And then when they
Separate
come back,
corners.
you go, I get it. I get why they're drawn back together.
Yes.
One of my favorite characters on this is Todd.
Freaking Todd.
Todd. I love Todd.
I just snorted again.
I love everything about Todd. Like, he annoys me too. I find Todd very annoying. And I love...
He's not annoying compared to the two.
Tandy is over the top annoying. Annoying boom. Yeah. I gotta say, I really think it's great. I'm going, space it out. You'll have a better experience.
But watch all of them.
Watch all of it.
Don't
give up.
Don't get frustrated and give up. Just slow it down.
Know that the cliffhangers are really great.
Well, in the show, they're gonna evolve. It's gonna change. It gets there are times where we would be so frustrated or like, oh my God, I can't. And then you just take a minute and then you go back and you go, oh my God, I love that. Like
One of our favorite things is Gary, and Gary's in the first season, and then you don't see him until the third season again. Spoiler: Gary comes back, and it's like when he comes back, you're like, oh, it's Gary. Don't even tell you what Gary is, but Gary is in it, and it's awesome.
Well, you said what, not who.
That could be anything. Well, you'll find out in the first episode.
All right.
Gary is.
Well,
all right. That's it. Are you done?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's wrap it up. Follow us on Twitter at SMG Binges. We'll have some big announcements coming up of some of the fun stuff we've got planned for this. We are going to keep this podcast going, so fear not. On to the next binge, Martha. You ready? Back to the couch.